Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
And happy Valentine's Day to all of you who are watching as we are live.
To me, it is simply red and pink aesthetic day. Like, I personally, even when I have been in a relationship, I think Valentine's Day it's a nice holiday, but I think celebrate the people you love all year round. I just love pink, red, and hearts. I think they're very cute. So, I love the aesthetics of Valentine's Day.
Perfect. Yeah. What should people do? You might as well just tell people. If you want.
Just go to geekscorner.live or just share from wherever you're watching with someone you care about. If you hate this show, share it with someone you hate. 'Cause you never know. Maybe they'll like us too.
Okay.
I was going for a bit of a Jungle Cruise type thing.
Oh, okay.
Like, if you love us, we're Daps Magic. If you don't love us, we are redacted.
There we go.
You can insert whatever you want there. Anyway, share it with someone you love in the spirit of...
Saint Valentine.
Yeah, that's who this is about.
I don't know. But the question must be asked, and you can answer it in the chat too. Favorite Disney couples or Valentine couple or whatever you want it to be.
I really love Ariel and Eric. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
This is hard. I'm also trying to think, like, we have the couples that we see at Sweethearts Night.
Yes.
And there's a lot. There's, like, Herc and Meg.
Mickey and Minnie.
No, they're there. You've got Angel and Stitch. Tiana and Naveen. But it's like...
Walt and Lillian.
No, that would be too far for me.
No, somebody suggests
Oh.
Clocky being exactly. But
see, that's like the hologram thing. I'm kind of scared by it.
maybe we'll talk about it next week.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Waltcella. But like, what couple would blow your mind for Sweethearts Night? Like, if you saw them, you were like, whoa! Bernard and Bianca. That's another one.
We saw them.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, those are kind of like the more...
Oh, like one we haven't seen. Wally and Eve I see in the chat.
I love that a lot.
Thomas O'Malley and Duchess. That'd be cute.
I like that.
I like that also.
I'm trying to think of, like, if we saw it on the map, if we were like, whoa.
I would be very impressed with Lady and the Tramp. I don't know how they would do it.
They train dogs.
No. I want, like, to look just like the animated. I don't want the live action. I want the animated version. Maybe puppets?
Alice Davis and Mark Davis.
Yeah. Puppets could work.
Not the puppets.
I don't know. Kermit and Miss Piggy. That would be fun. Scrooge and Goldie. I also like that one, Clocky.
Not the scary Kermit and Piggy from...
No. I'm thinking the ones from Give a Day, Get a Day.
Okay. I was like, not the Hollywood Studios ones.
Or the ones that they...
Or MGM Studios.
But Magic Kingdom would be fine.
I actually don't... Oh, like the ones that were on the bus
Great
thing?
Moments in History.
Those ones.
They didn't have a bus.
No, you
at
said
Magic
Give
Kingdom.
a Day, Get a Day. And I said the bus thing on Disney.
No, Give a Day, Get a Day. They had a pre-cavalcade that was weird. No, they had a cavalcade with Sweetums and Miss Piggy and Kermit, and
I thought they were on
then
like
whoever they were on a. Well, Sweetums walked
Yeah.
with the construction workers, and
Sweetums
then
and Bean Bunny.
and then Miss Piggy and Kermit were on like stacks of wood kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were in a float. And then there was also the volunteers that won of the day.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but they weren't on a bus. But
I
they,
remember them being on a moving vehicle.
yeah, it was
It was a parade float.
it was a parade float.
That's fair.
So favorite Valentine movie then? Or what's the best? We'll go favorite.
Valentine movie?
Yeah.
So I don't know, because I don't know. This is actually extremely difficult for me.
I'm gonna stick with Lady and the Tramp.
You would.
Mm-hmm.
I just touched the glitter that's on my face. This is where I'm struggling because suddenly.
Pecos Bill and Slewfoot Sue. There you go.
Are you just saying that because Lady in the Tramp's right there?
No, I'm saying it because it's in the chat. Oh, Lady in the Tramp. No, I like that one a lot.
Lady's just right
No,
there.
I grew up with that movie.
I've never seen it. You shouldn't even be surprised by that.
I'm not.
That's good. That's healthy. Not me looking around being like...
The Muppet movie, because half of the stuff in here is Muppets.
DCA 1.0 and Katie. That's the couple that I would like to see at Sweethearts Night. What is my favorite? Like a I'm not good at this, like... Wow, love conquers all. Like, what's a... Casablanca.
That is classic.
I've only seen that once.
Is that Disney now?
No.
Because that wasn't 20th century, was it?
I don't... Is it? I've also never seen Gone with the Wind.
That one's long.
Speaking of...
It is windy out. All right.
We are gone.
We're going to move on.
And there is wind.
Yes. This week, Bob Iger sent out emails, actually on Sunday, I believe.
Yeah, Sunday.
That gave a first look, or an early look, I guess I should say, at the Super Bowl commercial for the Walt Disney Company celebrating 100 years. It was their Disney 100 commercial. What did you think of it?
Well, I thought it was very sweet. I think it did a really great job of Ahsoka and Anakin. They're not a couple, but I'd like to see them together in the parks.
Okay.
I was like, not a couple, but...
Paramount. Thank you, Bailey.
No, I was just thinking of, like, they did a really great job of... Catering is the wrong word, but meeting the expectations of a lot of different fans.
How about connecting with a lot of different fandoms?
Yeah. Like, there was Star Wars, there was the new animation, there was old animation, there was Simpsons, there was, like...
Well, and I think it did something, too, that I noticed also with Wondrous Journeys, that they've gotten back into that cinematic, orchestral music that backs things up.
Yeah.
As opposed to... because I feel like that has a bit of a more timeless, connects with everybody thing, versus some shows that are a little bit more upbeat and the youngsters like it, and then the older you are, the less you care for it. Sometimes, am I correct?
What show could Mr. Daps be
I don't know.
talking about?
But do you think I have a point there?
Oh, 100%.
Like I think it has a musical score that just connects with all ages and has that kind of Disney magic feel, and then ending it with the piano doing "When You Wish Upon a Star" at the very end was
the big, grand, sweeping.
It makes you feel something.
Yeah,
and not just happy. Like it's going at a deeper level.
It makes you feel nostalgic. It makes you feel excited.
Yep.
I think that's something that they've just been doing so well is going back to the stories that only Disney can tell in a way that only Disney can tell them.
Instead of trying to be a different studio.
Yeah, it's we were just talking about this when Apple came out with the iPod and Microsoft made the Zoom because they were like, we need to compete with the iPod. And people would go to Apple and say, well, aren't you concerned? And they're like, no, not really. And so then they did all this work and they figured out the Zoom and they're like, we can compete with the iPod. And then Apple made the iPhone.
Yep.
So I think that Disney was kind of trying to play too much into, well, this studio's doing this and we need to be like this and streaming's doing this. And simple is hard. But going back to doing what Disney does, that's what won us all over with this commercial.
Yep, totally agree. The other thing we got, well, one of the other things that we got was a new Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 trailer.
Do you believe this is actually the last time?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think how much money it makes. Actually, I kind of do. Just because I do think part of the magic of Guardians is James Gunn.
I agree.
And with him being over at DC now, I could actually see that being maybe you see elements of the Guardians in other movies, but
not a Guardians ensemble movie.
Yeah, and if it was, maybe it'd be different Guardians, like a different era or a different
Avengers
generation. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you really can't, like, there's a level of genius that comes into all of the things they do with Guardians that really, I think, comes from James Gunn's own personality and quirkiness and everything. And so
he puts himself into the Guardians.
Yeah, and so I don't know that I would, if I were in charge, I wouldn't go any further than this. I'd be like, we've done it, end on top, assuming it's a great movie, and it probably will be.
I hope so.
I think it will be.
I trust James Gunn to make a good film.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this is the last Guardians movie we'll see with them. And I'm actually looking forward to this more than I'm looking forward to like Quantumania or
100%. But
trying to think what else is coming out soon. But
I have to be real.
The Marvels, is that coming out?
Yes. Haven't gotten a trailer for that though.
No.
I think to an extent, James Gunn should not be making a third Guardians of the Galaxy. And I think that's controversial. But
I'm listening.
Okay. I think he has already told the highlight of what could possibly be from a Guardians trilogy. And so I'm not expecting anything from this film.
Although I didn't expect anything from the last film either. Go ahead.
The emotional climax of the 3 films, 3 of them, 3 Guardians movies.
Mm-hmm.
Sailor said, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. I'm so sorry. That is one of the worst parts of any Marvel movie to ever exist.
But it was still a really good movie.
It makes me physically cringe. Like,
It's
when I
so
think
funny.
of Guardians 2, that is the only scene I can think of is just Kurt Russell awkwardly talking through the song Brandy.
And being such a great villain.
He's so scary, and like when he says the thing that is the twist in Guardians 2, you have this like gut punch moment of like, oh my god, I trusted you. And I think that's the thing, is he plays this very trustworthy character. You're like, I don't really know what he's up to, but he seems like a good guy. And then he hits you with that gut punch, and you're like, oh, that's not good. But yeah, anyway, talking through a song usually doesn't work. So can we please don't do that in the third film? That's all I can ask. I
Okay,
guess.
we will see.
But if they were going to talk through a song...
Which song would you pick?
Also, we've already done this of like, what would Guardians Volume 3 be for music, so...
Okay, well then we won't worry about it.
My Sharona.
Oh, there you go.
That would be a really... My Sharona.
Does that mean Will Ferrell's in it?
That's good.
I
was just thinking of like the next generation of music.
Okay.
Raspberry Beret. She wore raspberry.
I don't think he's going to be in this film. But...
I know, but imagine it said with the same delivery.
Oh my goodness.
What?
I don't even know what to think of this. Okay.
What you could think is laughter.
Yeah.
Because that's funny.
Okay.
You're like, but I'm not.
I don't know what to think right now.
Geeks Corner's so good when Katie hasn't slept in 3 days.
How about we talk about Indiana Jones? Indiana Jones, the Dial of Destiny, got a TV spot, which in some ways was better than the trailer.
Than anything that's...
Because it was 30 seconds of John Williams music and Indiana Jones being Indiana Jones and just going all in on everything you could hope for. And it felt completely practical.
Yeah. Top hits from this. Indiana Jones punching Nazis. De-aged Harrison Ford surprisingly looks amazing.
Yeah.
Sala saying, give him hell, Indiana Jones. One of the best things.
That was really good.
I think.
Yep.
Like, seeing Sala.
I mean, it makes me worried that we're only going to see him for a couple minutes at the beginning of the movie.
That's actually the only line he has.
And he sends him off, and yeah.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I can't even say her name right now.
Bridges.
Thank you, Bridges. Thank you. And like her, I'm rescuing you, big thing, and the chopper going down, and all the... This TV spot, I think you're 100% right. It has done more for me for this film than any trailer has done.
Like the other one was, like, I really liked the
great.
trailer.
It was, and the way they used the theme in the other one was
Well,
so
the other
good.
one, I didn't like the theme because it felt to me like a video game version of the theme.
It wasn't John Williams.
It was not a John Williams arrangement, I would highly doubt. Whereas this one felt like they pulled it right from a score they just recorded.
So, to give you a full picture of how this is happening, we are sitting in Disney California Adventure Park, not Disney's. unfortunately. And Mr. Daps literally has a laptop and is typing, which I love the visuals of because I love nothing more. So he's typing, and I'm like, hey, indie TV spot dropped. So he's typing while I am holding it like this. And we're trying not to be super loud because there's other people. It is a theme park. That would be offensive to them. But Mr. Daps is typing while he's like watching from the side, and he goes, oh, John Williams.
Yeah, it sounds right.
Yeah, it was great. And we did that in between Vocal Soul.
Yeah, it's like I think they've got everything. They've got everything this movie needs to succeed, and I think it's going to end up being one of the better ones.
I'm also, when we think about it, Rogue One was only 7 years ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't de-aging technology.
Oh, okay.
But we think about Leia. We think about Tarkin.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't the greatest.
Okay.
Especially Leia, in my opinion. Although I will say, there is truly no experience like sleeping through all of Rogue One, waking up in the theater at the very end, and just seeing Hope. And being like, wait, what? What movie did I wake up in? Gotta tell you.
It was good.
Crazy. But I just think of how far that technology has come. And yes, we are currently seeing on these tiny screens that fit in our pockets. And I'm very hopeful that it also looks that good on the big screen. But Harrison Ford has also made comments on
How good it looks.
it looking insanely good.
Well, and I've rewatched it on big screens, like my big screen in my entertainment room, and it looks great. So
Yeah.
I'm fairly confident it's going to be good.
I can't get over it. I kept being like, wait, this isn't footage that they pulled from somewhere? It is just that good.
Yeah, I think it might end up being the best or the most fun movie of the year.
I thought you were going to say the best Indiana Jones film.
No, of the year.
Which
Like, because we're looking at the movies coming out this year, that's the one I think that's towards the top.
Mr. Daps does have an indie ranking.
I think we should wait till the movie comes out to get into that.
Should we? Or
Yeah.
should you establish your top 4 right now?
How about you get caught up first?
Okay.
I think that's fair. All right, we also got a Super Bowl commercial with Patrick. I don't know how to say his last name.
Mahomes.
It is Mahomes? Okay.
Ah.
Somebody else said it differently yesterday, and when people do that, I suddenly go, oh, maybe I was doing it the wrong way.
Yeah, it's like when you kept saying Viola Davis because somebody said.
Yeah. They'll say it by me, and then I'm messed up. But
Yeah.
anyway,
also, we don't know. We don't watch sports.
Correct.
We don't watch football.
Anyway, he did the I'm going to Disneyland commercial, and then he did go to Disneyland, and I was there, and I was shocked at how many fans were crammed into Disneyland. Like, the entire parade route was completely packed an hour before this cavalcade happened. It was literally 4 minutes long. And Main Street, I heard people were lining up at 10 or 10:30 in the morning.
For a cavalcade that was at 1:30.
1:30 with just him and Disney characters and some dancers. And people loved it. Like, it was very fun.
I think it's a very fun thing.
Mhm.
Like, I think that whatever PR person it was that it started the I'm going to Walt Disney World, I'm going to Disneyland thing. Genius. Absolute genius. But I think it's fun that they do the confetti and they do the dancers and they do Mickey and Minnie and Goofy in their little sports costumes. And I think it's precious. And I think
Except they were in their Disney 100 this year.
they weren't in their little sports
Nope.
costumes.
It was Disney 100.
I love their little ESPN Zone Wide World of Sports. Like,
Yeah, I
little-
know. But that was last year.
I know, but I'm saying my favorite thing about it is that it is vague sport.
Yes.
It's not a singular sport. It is. This could be any sport.
Yes. Well, and like the sign on the front, clearly they had to make early, so it said Super Bowl winner,
Yeah.
like not the Kansas City Chiefs.
It's like when you're watching Chopped, and they're like, "Oh yes, these cheese flavored puff chips."
Yes.
And you're like, Cheetos. No, I always love it. I think it's a really fun thing. I would love to see it one singular time, and then I think it'd be.
Depends where the Super Bowl is next year.
I know, but I think it'd be. don't want to say easier, but I think it would be a fun experience at Magic Kingdom.
And we had Mikey cover that a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But it is definitely a lot of fun. And it is worth doing one time. And one of my favorite things is watching all of these people come in with their red shirts and everything because they're celebrating the Chiefs, and hats and sweatshirts and whatever. And then literally the moment the thing's over, you see this mass exodus of people leaving the parks because they're like, all right, I spent my $100 and whatever to come see this. And
you know what? It's cheaper than going to the Super Bowl.
Which is probably some of the, I don't know. But I'm also curious. Like, I would love to know how
people got reservations.
Yes. Like,
yeah.
I
don't know.
Did a bunch of people grab them and then half of them dropped it when it's like, oh, it's not my team, so then there's a bunch more open, or did they save some, or I don't know.
2024 is in Vegas.
So that probably would mean it's back here at Disneyland.
I would sure think so.
Yeah, that's west of the Mississippi. But
who will it be?
But it was very amusing because I'm like heading over to Starbucks to write about it and process pictures and videos and all this stuff. And I just see these people like heading for the parking lots. And then a lot of people also went to DCA. But but it is interesting. And I remember last year I had a friend from out of town that was there when they did it for the Rams. And they were like, yeah, we went on everything in the afternoon. Like, nobody was around. And I was like, oh, well, maybe that's a good trick.
There was, I remember being on property the day of the parade last year, and somebody, I think they didn't realize that the Super Bowl I don't know what it was, but they went.
There was a game?
They were like, man, look at you wearing Ram stuff coming in. That's so weird. And I was like, because they're going to do a little parade at Disneyland because the Rams won?
Mm-hmm.
And somehow Disneyland confetti does get everywhere.
Oh, yeah. It totally does.
So it doesn't matter where in the resort you are. I was going to say, you could probably go to Earl of Sandwich. Earl of Sandwich is not that far anymore. You could probably get all the way to Star Wars Trading Post. You could probably find some confetti back there.
Very possible. Yeah. But if you get a chance next year, go see it. It's worth it just to get the experience, see the fandom.
Now.
You don't even actually have to watch the cavalcade because you could probably be back like at Jolly Holiday or something.
And just eating your grilled cheese.
Actually, that is the way I would say to do it, is be at Jolly Holiday. You're up the level. You can see, because they're up on the float anyway. Mm-hmm. And unless you really want to see all the characters in the dancing and you just want to see whoever the player or players are, and then you can also see the confetti from there because they only do that on Main Street. It's worth it. It's fun.
Confetti.
I'd be curious how much confetti they have to get because they'd probably have to get both teams' colors too.
Yeah, I like to imagine. I know this isn't how it works, so don't correct me. I love to imagine somebody sat and they cut up all the confetti pieces for the other team. They're like, oh, they're going to win. They had all the green ready for the Eagles. And then the Chiefs won, and they went, oh, no. And then they took their scissors, and they went over to the red, and they were like, do, 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 you know? That's the image in my head.
Okay.
Or even, it's still by hand, those, like, big paper cutters.
Oh,
the ones you, like...
Yeah.
Again.
From, like, school.
That's not how that works.
Yeah.
But I like to imagine it as one person who's like, time to chop up the confetti.
There you go. That must be what it is.
That's the worms in my brain talking.
Perfect. All right, moving right along since we're almost out of time. But we have entered the next phase of Disney and Positive Stuff, and this will be a multi-phased process.
This actually is phase 4 of the MCU.
Isn't this two?
Daps.
Oh, the Dapscu. Well, the Dapsies are coming, so you never know. They're very soon. But the next step of a positive Disney and Positive Stuff is a kinder community, and we talked about this on Sunday if you caught it on the site. And really this comes down to anybody who's still watching, you are probably already part of this kinder community, and really we're going to try to impact the Disney and geek community with a lot of positivity, and we believe that kindness is really a foundation for that. And if you can treat each other with kindness, you can disagree without being disagreeable. You can be you can be a critic without being too critical and hurting people's feelings and really trying to be make the world a better place with the platforms that we have. So we're going to be having more things that come out about this in the coming days and weeks, including maybe some merch. I don't know. We'll see. And maybe there's a logo. I don't know. We'll see. Should I tease anymore? I don't know. What do you think about this? I'm done talking.
Mr. Daps said, I'm done now. No, I think it's all about leaving things better than you found them. And that's kind of what we've always been part of the mission statement of Daps Magic, but now it's really putting pen to paper on it. And I think that it's been something that I've been saying a lot professionally, is that when you think about it, absolutely no one on this earth had a say on if they were put on this earth.
Yes.
Nobody volunteered. Nobody chose this. We all were put on this planet. The least that we could do for each other is to be kind and to make it easier. And I just think that's something that's very important. And yes, there are bad times and there are bad days, but there's never a reason to make other people feel bad about themselves. And so I think that we're just kind of reinforcing that Daps Magic is the place where people go to feel kindness.
Yep, and we'd like you to join in on with this. And if you go to the Daps Magic Facebook, that is kind of becoming the online central hub for the internet community, I guess you could say, as much as possible. And then obviously all the other social medias that we use as well. But that's really becoming kind of the central hub where people are connecting. And then also Patreon is the other place where we're releasing things early and showing things a little behind the scenes. Like you are seeing something very funny right now and you don't even know it. This entire show, there's been something absolutely hilarious right in front of your eyes and you don't know. But if you're on Patreon tonight after the show, I will be posting what was so funny during the show that I was cracking up about and made Katie shoot a video.
I think the bigger thing that it comes down to is I want people to see the Daps Magic logo and be like, oh, that's a nice person that I can trust. That is somebody who's not going to make me feel bad about the things that I like. I just kind of want it to be one of those symbols of like a good thing.
Well, I want it to be, so when I went to Haiti, especially the first time, but every time I've been down there, it's been the same experience, is I wear a branded shirt that's for the organization I go with. And there's lots of organizations that go and work in Haiti, and not all of them are viewed favorably. In fact, most of them aren't. But however, I would see people see my logo, and there was always this, like I got more smiles, I got more thank yous, I got more hugs. Like people were very happy to see this logo and happy to know that I was a representative of this, as opposed to some guy that was just coming to impose my will on Haiti, which I wasn't. And so it really changed the game for the experience in Haiti, because they knew we were coming in to help and make the world a better place, as opposed to just make it our way. And really it's what we want to do with Daps also, is people see the Daps logo and they see this other thing we have coming and they go, oh, these guys are good, these guys are safe, these guys are making the world a better place. And we want to be a part of that. And you already are. Everybody who's on here on Tuesday nights, we know, are already, you do that. You're inherently that. Yes, it is Geeks Corner Plus. Thank you for the reminder. And but yeah, we want to take it to the next level. We really want to see what we can do, and we've been getting very positive feedback from this on both the Magic Key annual pass, depending on where you're at in the country, side of things, but also on the cast member side of things. So if we can make the world better for both, that is a great thing. Anything else? No? Okay. It is Geeks Corner Plus. If you got any questions that you would like to ask us, or anything you'd like to hear us talk about, we've got a couple more minutes that we can chat about that, other than what's really funny, because we're not going to talk about that. We're going to be very serious and not talk about that.
I'm a very serious individual. Y'all ever just like hit a wall?
Did you just hit your wall?
Yeah. But it's, yeah.
I did offer you coffee.
Yeah, I know. So the great news.
I'm enjoying my coffee.
I'm gonna start barking at you. One.
Only on Patreon.
one of my supervisors at work today looks at me very randomly and goes, "You know what one of my favorite things about you is?" And I went, "Oh no, that's always
That's
a
a good start.
dangerous
Good start.
She goes, "No, Clocky, I haven't. I'm working on it." She goes, "Katie, you always say you're gonna bark at people, and then you just say the word bark. You don't go woof woof woof." She's like, "You don't make dog noises. You just go
bark.
You know, like, yeah, I'm gonna bark at that person." Then you go bark 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 bark.
That's true.
She was like, "That is one of my favorite things about you."
That is very true.
And I was like, "Okay." I didn't know how to take that. But yeah, anyway, bark 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 bark.
There you go.
No, so good news, guys. Ted Lasso season 3 comes out on March 15th. No season 2 spoilers in the chat, please. Mr. Daps and I have 6 more episodes for him to finish season 2. And we have to do that before season 3 comes out because I want you to be able to watch it live.
Oh.
Because Apple TV...
I don't watch anything live. Well, I watch Star Trek live.
Apple TV does do week-by-week episode drops.
Interesting. Okay.
What I'm most excited for is there was an episode that I watched in Walt Disney World. We were there for the 50th. And it was so crazy, but I had no one to talk about it with. So I'm very excited for you to get that. I remember I was like sitting on my bunk bed with my AirPods in. I just went, and I literally had to like text my West Coast friends, like, "Please, someone talk to me about this."
Good thing it was that way instead of the other way around.
I know, because I would have been
3-hour
alone.
difference could have been a real problem. All right. Well, Katie, we have run out of time. What should people do?
You should... My hands got cold.
Okay.
You should go to dapsmagic.com, check out all the Disney and geek news as it happens. You can subscribe to our mailing list. And from there, you can also find our Patreon, where you can find out what is the very funny thing that has been on the set the entire night. And how does it embarrass me?
That too. Also, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have lots of videos going up because of Valentine's Day. We've been getting the last of the Sweethearts Night videos up, but we have other stuff to post as well. And then next week we will have Magic Happens, which you won't want to miss either. But that is all the time we have for you this week. So we will see you round the corner.
Bye.